Greetings everyone and welcome to Catholic Talk. The subject of this video today is going to be the height of the Virgin Mary. Now, before I decided to even make this video, I did just type in how tall is the Virgin Mary to find out if the search engine doesn't just bring up a result, because if it does there'd be no point making this video, but it didn't really give any good results in fairness. I'll actually show you what came up when I typed that in. So you type in how tall is the Virgin Mary and you get a handful of theories. The first one in ucatholic.com. They have theories on the height of Jesus, the height of Joseph, and the height of Mary. And here we can actually have a look. When we go down to Mary, they say, the writings of saints attest to the height of Mary as 3 cubits, around 4'6". And then they have a few quotes there. Well, the first one says, in the midst of them, before the gaze of them all, lies the body of the Mother of God, 3 cubits in height, radiant with light, the body that received the fullness of God's word, who rules all things. That's by St. Andrew of Crete. And then there's another one below, again, mentioning her as 3 cubits long, and that's by St. John of Damascus. They also mention there that when St. Bernadette Soubirous described the apparition of Our Lady of Lourdes, she spoke of a tiny maiden no taller than herself, and Soubirous was only 4'7" at the time because she was a child. So they seem to suggest she's very short, and personally I'm not convinced that she was 4'6". That's very little. That's kind of like midget height now, I suppose. Sorry if that's not the correct term. There are a few other results. Here's how tall is the Virgin Mary in answers.com. And the answer they give is no one knows her exact height. And then below that, the next one is a Wikipedia article, Mary, the Mother of Jesus. And I had a look through this and I didn't actually see any reference in it to her actual height. So that is less important. And then the one after that, below Women in the Bible, the Real Mary of Nazareth. I'm a little bit skeptical about that site because as I was reading through it, they seem to be trying to suggest all kinds of weird theories, including that Mary, that Jesus was the son of a soldier from Rome who may have raped her and all this nonsense. So I'm not convinced by this site at all from what I saw. I kind of skimmed through it and it looked very odd. But again, what did Mary look like? Mary, the future mother of Jesus of Nazareth, was a young peasant girl, probably less than 5 feet tall with glossy black hair. Probably. And a lot of this comes from, on this website and on the previous one, uCatholic, how people were at the time, that people in that part of the world were seen to be quite a bit shorter. I mean, in uCatholic it even suggests that they think Jesus was 5'1". I mean, they really are giving some really low heights here, but they're all suggestions. They probably would have been about. But I'm going to read from a source here that isn't just some website giving predictions on what they think, but an actual source that is the biography, the 2-volume biography of the admirable life of Mother Mariana. I'm currently on volume 2 of that. For those who don't know, I'm sure most of you do, Mother Mariana was a Spanish nun who lived in Ecuador, and she had various apparitions over the course of a few decades, approved by the bishop. And in one of those apparitions, she was actually told by the Blessed Virgin Mary to make a statue of her. And I'm going to read to you a little bit from chapter 22, where Mary tells her about this and tells her how to get the measurements of the statue. So if I can just find the right page with one hand as I'm holding the mic with the other. Let's see if I can get to the right moment. Chapter 22 is what we want. So here we are. I'm reading from The Admirable Life of Mother Mariana. This is a translation of a biography about her, kind of a biography. It's more of a biography of her life in the convent. But it was originally written by Father Manuel Sousa Pereira in 1790. And he got all his information from the convent itself, from convent records. A lot of it that was writing by Mother Mariana, because she was told to write down everything that was going on. So there's a translation of that biography from the book written a very long time ago. And here in this part we have how the height of the Mother of God was measured. So it's about one page, and I'll read it to you. The humble religious opened her spirit to the Blessed Virgin Mary, her celestial mother and abbess. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Abbess. Then she timidly addressed her about the statue she wanted her to have made. Most beautiful lady, she said, thy beauty enchants me. Oh, if thou would only allow me to leave this ungrateful earth and take me with thee to heaven. But permit me to stay, that no human person, even the greatest expert in the art of sculpture, could make a wood statue in thy enchanting likeness and details as you ask. For this omission, I request my seraphic father to carve thy holy statue in the finest wood, aided by the angels of heaven, for I could never explain, nor much less give the measurement of your height. To this the vision responded, remain undaunted, my daughter. I will agree to what you ask of me. My servant Francis with his own wounded hands will carve my statue, and the angelic spirits will assist him. He himself will place on me his cord, the symbol of all his sons and daughters who belong so closely to me. As for the height of my form, you yourself will measure me with the seraphic cord that you wear around your waist. So she's telling her how she's going to measure her to get the measurements. The religious replied, beautiful lady, my dearest mother, how can I, still a wayfarer on this earth, dare to touch thy divine forehead, which even the angelic spirits dare not do? Thou art the living ark of the covenant between poor mortals and God. And if Oza fell dead only for his fault in touching the holy ark to keep it from falling to the ground, how much more do I, a poor and weak woman, have to fear? The Blessed Virgin responded, your humble restraint pleases me, and I see your ardent love for the Mother of God. Next page. To whom you speak. Bring your cord to me and place one end of it in my hand, then you should touch the other end of it to my foot. The exultant religious did what Mary most holy ordered, trembling with joy, love, and reverence. The Holy Virgin continued, here, my daughter, you have the measurement of the height of your heavenly mother. Tell this to my servant, Francisco del Castillo, and describe to him any features and bearing. He will do the exterior work on my statue, for he has a delicate conscience and scrupulously observes the commandments of God and the Church. He is the only one worthy of this grace. You, on your part, must aid him with your prayers and with your humble suffering. This is how she got her measurement. So she basically took this cord, and one side of it she placed in the hand of Mary, and the other side she took to Mary's foot. So I suppose Mary would have taken the cord she was holding and then held it up to her head, to the top of her head. But that's how she got her measurement. And now the statue that is in Quito, in that convent of Mary, is done exactly to the measurements that were measured here in this, during this vision, this apparition. And it says here, the majestic statue of Our Lady of Good Success, made according to these specifications, stands at 5 feet 9 inches tall. So for those who prefer the metric system, that would be 1 meter 75 centimeters. That is quite tall for a woman, even nowadays. But that is how tall the statue is, and it's based on the measurements taken of Our Lady during the apparition. So quite a bit more than some of these other websites are suggesting of 4'6". That seems very short. 5'9" does seem quite tall, and of course there is the other question of, okay, even if Mary during this apparition is 5'9", does that mean she was 5'9" when she was a human being on earth just like us? I mean, it does seem quite tall for people in that part of the world, the Middle East. Of course, when you're in heaven, you're not really bound by height and weight, so it might have just been, this is her measurement during this apparition, make it according to this apparition's measurement of Mary. Does that mean that's what Mary was like when she was here? I don't know, but it is an exact measurement, and it's from an apparition that's approved. So it's certainly better than just people going, oh, she was probably about this high because people in that time were this tall, or because Saint Bernadette said that she was a similar height to her or not greater in height than her. I'm really interested to see the comments on this actually. Do you think Mary, when she was here on earth as a person like us, was 5'9"? Or do you think that maybe in this apparition she's 5'9", and therefore the statue is 5'9", but that doesn't necessarily mean she was 5'9" when she was walking the earth like us. But there we have it. I mean, this is from a pretty good source, I would say. It's a biography, and the priest who wrote the biography, he took, as I said before, he got all his records from the convent itself. He went there, he read all the stuff that was written, and he wrote out the biography, he wrote out what was said. And as far as the statue's height, I mean, that can be checked any time. People can just go there and measure the height of the statue, and however tall the statue is, that must have been the measurements that were taken when Mother Mariana took Our Lady's height during the apparition. So there we go. Would I say this is definitive proof that this means Mary was 5'9" when she was on earth? I wouldn't go that far. I would say it's looking good to be proof that she was 5'9" during the apparition. And then of course there is the question of, would she be the exact same height she was on earth during the apparition, or could she be any height she wanted and she just happened to be 5'9" at that time? So anyway, that's the video, folks. Please do leave comments. I'm curious. I'm interested to know if you have any other sources actually that claim to know the height of the Virgin Mary. If you have some, feel free to link them in the comments and I will have a look at those. But that's it, folks. Thank you. Thank you for watching, listening. If you do like the video, please do give it a like. If you're subscribed, thank you very much. And please do hit that notification bell so that you know whenever there's a new video up. And thanks very much for watching. Have a good day.